Hello there, happy Sunday! I'm Liz with Whip Stitching Whimsy. Today I'm going through a fundamental sewing step that everybody needs to know, how to attach an invisible zipper. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started we'll have to gather our supplies. What we're going to need for this project is rather simple. You're going to need your zipper of your desired length. My invisible zipper is a 20-inch to 22-inch. The garment that you are attaching your zipper to, and some scissors to trim as we go. Of course, we're going to need some pins, and then an iron. The iron is going to help us smooth our seams as well as smooth out the zipper from when we first get it, because they are packaged up really tightly. You want that to be as flat as possible. And a pressing cloth or paper. If you can't find pressing paper, parchment paper works perfectly. So here we go. Okay, to get started, you're going to want to plug in your iron. Make sure that it's not at too high of a setting, a synthetic setting, because we don't want to melt any of the little teeth on the zipper because it is plastic, so you have to be very careful. Once your iron is hot enough, then you will use that to flatten your zipper. Place your parchment paper, pressing paper, or extra fabric, whatever you're using to separate your zipper from your iron, on top of your zipper, and then iron it flat. You can unzip your zipper to flatten the teeth down smoother. I prefer to unzip it because I feel like that gives it the flattest edge possible. When you are ironing your zipper, be sure to press down firmly with a moderate amount of pressure. Don't press too hard. You don't want to put too much pressure on and too much heat in one spot. That is how you will melt the teeth on the zipper, and you don't want to break it. If you have to, you can iron on the fabric piece with your iron, but be careful not to press the iron directly to the teeth of the zipper. Once your zipper has been pressed flat, you can unplug your iron. We won't need it for some time, and you don't want to leave it plugged in. Perfect. So now that we have ironed our zipper and it is flat, you will want to grab your garment, flip it over to the back side or the side of it, wherever you are attaching your invisible zipper. And we are going to pin it along the sides here. That's key. With an invisible zipper, you are attaching the zipper to the seam before the garment has been closed. With a zipper that you can see, usually for coats and jackets, those kinds of zippers are attached with a closed seam. So to do this, you will want to unzip your zipper to its full length. And please note, my garment does have a lining, so we are going to be doing that as well. So and lay your garment as flat as possible, and we are going to pin the right sides of the zipper to the right side of your main fabric. Be sure to leave a little bit here so that you can flip that over when you are closing your zipper later. If your garment has a lining, be careful not to pin your lining to the zipper as well. Now you're going to take this to your sewing machine, and with a zipper foot attached into your sewing machine, of course, you will stitch along this side of the zipper. So let's go give that a shot. Okay, now that we're next to the sewing machine, you will have to attach your zipper foot. If you don't have one, this is what a zipper foot looks like. Once you have that attached, you will feed your zipper and the main fabric through your sewing machine. The zipper foot should lock onto the teeth of your zipper and just guide it through the seam very smoothly. Allow your zipper foot to do all the work. It should keep it straight and following the teeth of the zipper, keeping it as close to the zipper as possible. Now that we're done with that side, we're going to repeat. Pin the other side of the zipper to the main fabric. Stitch that along the side of the main fabric with your zipper foot. Be careful not to sew your lining into the zipper yet. Awesome. Now that we're done with that, we're going to lay our zipper down, close your zipper, and flip your garment inside out. Now take 2 pins and pin those onto the bottom of the zipper. Now that your zipper is closed, it should make pinning the zipper closely to the fabric easier and feeding it through the sewing machine smoother. We are also going to pin the seam closed. Now take that garment to the sewing machine and we are going to stitch the zipper on more securely at the bottom. First, it's important to do that first. And then once you have your zipper fully attached to the main fabric, you will close your seam down the dress or garment that you are attaching your zipper to. Remember to always backstitch, of course. We are also going to sew the seams to the back of the zipper. This will help the seam lay flat. If you have no lining in your garment, you are finished with your invisible zipper. Finish your collar or any attaching pieces of your garment, and you are all finished. If you do have a lining on your garment, then stay tuned. We're gonna continue with the project. Grab your iron. Now we're going to iron our side of our lining. We're going to iron those seams flat. Fold your lining seam over about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch and iron that flat. This will make top stitching the lining to the zipper much easier. Once you have that seam ironed flatly, pin it along the side of the zipper similarly to how you did with the main fabric. Do that to both sides of the zipper and the lining. Now you will head on over to the sewing machine and top stitch the lining down onto the zipper. Remember, use your zipper foot, let it guide your seam straight through, and keep it as close to the zipper as you possibly can. This will help keep your zipper invisible. Be careful not to get too close to the zipper though. You don't want to pierce through any of the teeth. This could break your zipper. Once you reach the end of the zipper, be cautious. It's okay if you need to stop. Once you reach the head of the zipper handle, it can get really hard to keep stitching. And we will do the same thing that we did with the front, closing the zipper and stitching that end down. Grab some scissors, or possibly a seam ripper. I prefer a seam ripper. It gives a little bit more control when cleaning up all of those extra threads. Feel free to go through your garment and snip those off as you go, but it's nice to catch up every now and again. Clean up your garment. Flip it inside out once more, keeping your lining separated from your main fabric. But essentially, we are going to repeat the same technique that we did for the front, and we're going to pin the zipper closed at the bottom and close our seam with sewing pins as well. Remember to close your zipper a little bit, pull the handle away from the bottom of the zipper. This will make stitching the lining on much easier. Personally, after working on this dress, I found that it is much easier to stitch the bottom of the zipper closed before stitching your seam closed. So please feel free to stitch your zipper on completely, go back to pinning, and then finish your seam. I was, however, impatient and decided to do my pinning all in one go. I support you either way. Once you are done pinning, go to your sewing machine and stitch that sucker closed. Excuse my language. And close any seams that you need to finish your garment. To give your garment a little extra security, you can zigzag stitch along your seams as well. This gives it a much smoother finish. I prefer to do that. I feel much more secure, but it's your preference. And celebrate your newfound gift and your newfound garment. Your zipper is attached. Good luck with all your future projects. I wish you well, and hopefully you'll join me here again next week. Give me a like and a subscribe, and I appreciate you watching my video.